Hi everybody, welcome back to my Cook at Home series with Tonya here at Cooking on the Bay. Now this series is all cooking real food, which I do in my cooking school. It's low carbohydrate and healthy fat, and at the moment we are having a vegetable challenge. And the vegetable challenge is to eat 30 different vegetables every week. Now the reason for this is multifaceted. One is that vegetables are very good for you. The other is that a variety of vegetables are very good for your gut biome, all the little bacteria in your gut, the good bacteria, we want to feed them, and they need a variety of different foods because sometimes those bacteria only eat a certain sort of food. And so the more variety of vegetables that you eat, the better it is for your gut, and also the better it is for your immune system. And it's our immune system that we particularly want to be boosting at the moment, especially going through this COVID-19 crisis. And us here in Melbourne today have just been put into stage 4 lockdown, so we're even more restricted than we were before. So it's important that we all eat. It's good for our mental health as well as our gut health. So what we're cooking today is a broccoli pesto. So the broccoli pesto is a little bit different. You can get capsicum pesto. We have already made basil and pine nut pesto, which is in this series, and you'll find that on the YouTube channel. But I thought this broccoli pesto was a little bit different, and you can put a dollop of it on any of your vegetables that you're going to be eating during the week, and it adds another vegetable to your list. So I've chopped up here the little florets of the broccoli, and I've only had them steaming for a couple of minutes, but I think they're probably almost ready, just a couple, perhaps a minute or so more, and they'll be ready. Now the stalks of the broccoli and the cauliflower, I always reserve the stalks and put them back in a bag in the fridge, and when I have enough to make some soup with, I'll chop the stalks up very finely, add a few green florets as well, another fresh head of broccoli, and I make it into a soup. And I do the same with cauliflower, particularly when it's being pureed. It purees up nicely and it's wasting it and throwing it out. So when this is nice and tender, I'm going to pop it in a bowl of iced water, and then we're going to put it in the food processor along with half a cup of basil leaves, nicely pressed down basil leaves. So when you're doing half a cup of basil, you don't want it to be sitting up so that it's almost a cup. You want to be pressing it down to make sure that you've got a nice good cup there. We've got 2 cloves of garlic. Now, I roughly chopped the garlic, and at the moment garlic unfortunately is out of season, so it's very hard to get good garlic. This is good Australian garlic. We've got 100 grams of pine nuts, and we're going to toss these in the pan to get them glistening, so I'll get those on while we're talking here. Keeping an eye on them, of course, so that they don't burn, because they do tend to burn very quickly. So I've got the pine nuts, and we've got 100 grams of Parmigiano Regianno, plus about 100 mils, it is 100 mils, of extra virgin olive oil. And I've got a little bit extra here. We'll just see. Sometimes you need a little bit more, a little bit less. So we'll just check it out as we go. Now with the Parmigiano, when I was cutting it up and grating it today, I always cut off the rind, obviously. But I keep the rinds, and I keep them in the freezer, and I add them to various sauces, your bolognese sauce, your Napoli sauce, anything that you want to add an extra flavour to. And the Parmigiano is a lovely umami flavour, so it's got that lovely depth of flavour and savouriness and specialness that is sort of umami. So it's good to keep your parmesan skins, and you don't eat them when you put them in. They don't disintegrate. You just take them out, obviously, before you use the sauce. So let's just see. This is pretty warm in here. I think that's pretty right. Perfect. So we'll turn it off. Tip it into, without burning myself in the steam. Tip it into, blanch it into the iced water, and just leave it there for a couple of seconds, and then we'll take it out and put it into the food processor along with our basil. Just check out pine nuts here. So what we're wanting, oh look how quickly already. Can you see this, Michael? How quickly they've, that was very quick. Okay, but can you see them glistening? Just saved in time. So they're glistening. The aroma is absolutely beautiful. We certainly don't want them cooked any more than they are. So what I do with them now, if I were wanting to do something else, I never leave them in the pan, especially when the pan's so hot. You always tip them into another container or bowl so that they don't keep on burning or cooking in here. Just a smidgen on a few of them. But, oh, that lovely aroma of the pine nuts is just so nice. Okay, so we'll pop those in. Saved in the nick of time. We'll put our broccoli florets in. Pesto really is just another word for things with nut paste, nut condiment. So you can use pecan nuts. In Queensland, I used to use macadamia nuts in my pesto, and when you see the basil and pine nut pesto in this YouTube series, you'll notice that I did mention that I often need to change macadamia nuts, and you could do the same with this broccoli too. But remember, when you do use macadamia nuts, they're actually not as oily as the pine nuts, and they're not as soft, so they actually it makes a much more dense pesto. So we're going to put in our Parmigiano Regianno, our basil, our garlic. Get all the garlic in, precious garlic at the moment. Now a little bit of olive oil, just to start it off. And so we'll process it. Just drizzle the olive oil in, because sometimes, as I said, in fact, I don't think we need probably too much more. Or perhaps just a little bit to make it a little bit looser. Okay, so just a couple more, and then we might just give it a taste to see how much salt and pepper. Oh, I do love pesto. Oh, that broccoli is lovely. Lovely. I'm going to put half a teaspoon of salt in, because the Parmigiano has a lot of salt too, don't forget. So there's half a teaspoon of that. And always some nice cracked pepper. You can do this to your taste too, don't forget. I think that might be fine for me now. Okay, just give it one more little taste before I take it out of its... Let's see, a nice big mouthful. Oh, that's so nice. Well, I do hope you make this. Gives it a bit of variety. You can make capsicum pesto with a bit of chilli. Do some eggplant too if you wanted to. Eggplant and pecan nuts would be nice. Or cashews even. Cashews are nice. So, here we go. We probably used about 90 mils of oil, I'd say. Oh, there's a insert to my lid. Okay. Looks good, doesn't it? So, this is going to be served with our dinner tonight. Oh, over our vegetables. You could also serve it as a dip, with some nice crudités, some nice vegetable crudités, and just get that little bit from there. But I think that looks so pretty and it tastes absolutely beautiful. So hopefully you'll enjoy making it and adding it to your list of vegetables for your vegetable challenge. Bye-bye.